turns out to be a black man trying to pass for white.
J. Edgar Hoover was black, bruh. Get out of here.
That said that if that Hunter Biden laptop story
Have any arguments against that right now? And I want to see how it goes.
I read that you were a Democrat at one time, and then you decided not to. You left the Democratic Party, and did you become a Republican as far as voting or independent? Independent. And why did you leave? Why did you become a Democrat, and why did you leave?
I thought he was conservative, but he's an independent. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Black folks were not Democrats. The Democrats were the enemy. That was the Klan. That was the sheriff that pulled you over. That was the highway patrolman that wanted to know what you were doing, but tell Trooper Jackson that you talked to Trooper Johnson.
He said black people back in the day were not Democrats. Democrats back in the day were the Klan. They were the bad guys. But now they want us to believe that there was a big switch. There was a big switch. Now, we see now the Democrats, today's Democrats are yesterday's Republicans. That's what they don't want you to know. Nah, BS, especially if your best friend that you eulogize his funeral was like ahead of the clans. He was one of the main guys in the Klan. But you're trying to say, oh, no, that's not us anymore. We don't associate with them people. We don't associate with them people. The bad people are the Proud Boys. Those are the white supremacists who just so happen to have a Hispanic leader and a black leader. I don't get that. Those are the white supremacists. Okay, let's go.
You know, it'll be all right. It was racist, Strom Thurmond and Eastland and Stennis and Faubus, by the way, all of whom supported Joe Biden, and I heard them introduce him during a particularly unpleasant little episode. I heard him making an early campaign speech, 1972, outside of the state capitol in Dover, Delaware.
Was that
those
Alicia?
Clowns were very unsavory. Now, the Democrats had economic policies that I approved of, and a lot of what was going on in my world was centered around do you or do you not get drafted and sent to Vietnam? Or if you got a ROTC thing, are you going to survive where they send you, or do you get a deferment to pursue a postgraduate degree type thing?
Right.
I didn't like Republicans because they had St. Ron the ray gun, and he ruined public education in California. For example, when I went to UCLA, there was no tuition. There was no tuition for the state college system or the city's colleges. They had an incidental fee, which at UCLA was $56 a quarter, and that got you free medical care, free dental care, free prescriptions, free eyeglasses, concert tickets, all of the entertainments, all of the athletic stuff, and financed a lot of stuff going on around the school, but it was not tuition. So from $56 a quarter, this clown jumped it up to $840 a quarter, which was like, that'd be like 60-some thousand a year now. So it was just absolutely obscene. He was campaigning on the plank that no one needed a higher education. You could do without it. And if you got it, you were likely to be a long-haired hippie who was a commie-loving sympathizer, etc. And you saw all kinds of far-right nasty tricks. And then there was that clown J. Edgar with the FBI, who turns out to be a black man trying to pass for white.
Wow. J. Edgar Hoover was a black man?
Yeah. Oh,
I didn't know that. Yeah. What the?
Nah, is that true, guys? Y'all let me know in the comments, man. Is that true? J. Edgar Hoover was a black dude and trying to pass off as white? Judge Joe Brown making that up. He is freestyling right now, bro. He is freestyling. Oh, that's true?
Oh my God! Wow!
OMG! Oh, man.
Look, Look. I'll do this. Since we're talking, I'll let you see a picture of him. Now, who is this?
And Abraham Lincoln was black.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's a black dude.
That's
black.
J. Edgar Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover was black, bruh. What? Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh my gracious. Are y'all kidding me? Somebody should have told me to check this out earlier, sooner. That's J. Edgar Hoover right there, man. He was a colored person. He was you people. Get out of here. Okay, I'm done. That's okay. I'm done. All right.
Really?
As a young man.
Well, he definitely looked like a black guy there, but I never knew that.
And the Smithsonian Channel and the History Channel have done features over the last several years about his hatred for the Klan and what he was, because the Klan ran his family out of Louisiana because they were trying to pass for white. So it's interesting what we do to ourselves.
Wow.
Was it commonly known that he was black?
Some of us knew it, and it's sort of like the worst somebody you can have is somebody who hates his own people because he doesn't want to be reminded that those are his people. He was also gay at a time when that just wasn't happening. His lover, Coulson, was the deputy director of the FBI.
Did y'all hear that? So J. Edgar Hoover was just like President Barack Obama. Wow. All right, Judge Joe Brown. This dude is, I thought Jesse Lee Peterson would be, yeah, that's a what the moment right there. That's an amazing right there. Come on, it's getting gooder and gooder.
So they did as
Reverend Jordan used to say.
A lot of nasty stuff. I know when I was undergrad at UCLA, every time we would do something political or anything, which was all the time, you'd be hauled in within 2 or 3 weeks and taken downtown LA and questioned, interrogated by the FBI. What did you say? I have a First Amendment right to say what I felt like saying. What about it? Did you there? I have a First Amendment right. I decline to make any statement. By the way, if you're talking to the FBI or a federal agency, never say, I don't know anything about, I don't know what you're talking about. Don't say that, because they usually tell you what they have you in there for. So they will prosecute you for harassment purposes. And I know later I'd have clients and they'd have 17, 18, 19, 63 counts of an indictment. I'd beat all of them except one, and that was making a knowingly false statement to a federal official or agency. And why was it? Because they record you getting told, we have you in here because you're trying to sit there and deal with violence in the community, or you are pushing this. And if you say, I don't know anything about it, well, it has told you what it was about, so they'd get a conviction on that.
What a mess.
Somebody would get a 60-month sentence, and they'd wind up serving 56 to 58 in federal custody on that, and then the rest of it is an acquittal. They did it all the time. You can also thank Joe Biden for that, with him, Eastland, Stennis, and Byrd back in the late 70s and in 1981. So we have a change now where we have things that we blame, and we like to use that as an excuse. But as I'm fond of saying, like right now I'm in a dining area in my house, and I'm looking at the kitchen, there's no white supremacist sitting on the other side of the breakfast table or the dinner table or the dining table or the dinner table to interfere with a child doing homework at that table and a parent trying to teach the child what he needs to be taught and learning in the process. You get kindergarten through 12th grade down, and the rest of your life has open doors. Now, you may have to kick them all the way in, but at least they're unlocked.
Yeah.
So a lot of what we do, we bring on ourselves, and I had great hope for the future back in the late 60s.
Now, before we move forward, I just want to say something. He says that J. Edgar Hoover was a black man. J. Edgar Hoover was not a black man. J. Edgar Hoover was mixed. Now, if we go by the way that the Klansmen or the way that the United States of America used to, the 1% rule, then we would say that they're black. He's a black man because that's what they used back in the day to distinguish between the family members that they will leave something to. The slave owners will leave something to. So he was mixed, all right? We got to get used to that right there. I know. It's something that you don't want to go down. If you got 1% black blood, then you're black. And all the white relatives you have in your family, you're not them. And that makes absolutely no sense. Most people don't care about it because nobody's really hung up on the color of their skin and they don't feel left out simply because you don't claim this side. Like, what do you mean you're black? You know what I mean? You're white. Look at us. We white. Nah, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. But I did want to make that correction because when I did a video that Officer Tatum was having with someone, he was having a debate with someone, and he let them know that his children are mixed. They have a black dad and a white mother. They are not black because of the 1% rule that was in place back in the day with those racist ass individuals who put that rule in place. Now, we can say he's black because that's just what we do today, but I just wanted to make that distinction. Okay, let's go ahead.
But it kind of evaporated, and I'm rather disappointed in how badly we are doing harm to ourselves these days. And our main problem is not the kind of killing that used to happen. That was at least related to gang activity or hostilities. Now we see, yo, man, it's all about pimping, man. Now, why you'd want to be a pimp, I don't know.
Right.
And I used to represent a bunch of them 40-some years ago. Was their defense counsel and a lower bunch of you cannot find than pimps. And people ideate on the wrong kinds of things and man's about what your women doing for you, man. Like, I got 4 ladies take good care of me. 2 of them got good JOBs. One get a crazy check. The other get AFDC. They takes care of me. Like, what do you do? See, that whole emasculation thing is something that was not there 55, 60, 50 years ago, 45 years ago.
Hold on, wait a minute, Judge Joe Brown. It takes some skill to be a pimp, all right? It takes some skill to be a pimp, all right? You got to be able to manipulate these ladies into believing that you are more important to them than their mother, their father, their sister, their brother, all of their friends, everyone, and that they need to go out there and work and just bring that money to you, all right? And you will take care of them. You will protect them, and you will pay for whatever they need to pay for. But that money comes straight to you. Yeah, it's a this being a pimp. Like, when you being a pimp, man, that's I never understood that. There are people in this country who worship the ground that pimps walk on. They look at a pimp and they be like, "Oh, you clean, and you ain't pay for none of that."